Hey Bandidos, Tux here with a mind-blowing build challenge. Today we're diving headfirst into the Division 2's ultimate gauntlet, the Summit, on legendary difficulty.
With all directives.
Brace yourself for 100 heart-pounding floors of action, intense battles, and moments that will make you toss your controller in frustration. But fear not, my friends, because I've assembled the dream builds to conquer it all. Join me as I unveil the new strategy and build to defeat the legendary hunters on floor 100 with all directives like never before. Get ready to witness the most epic clear of the Summit you've ever seen. Hit the like button if you crave unique and effective builds. Turn on that notification bell and comment Summit Domination to support the channel.
Ain't too many kids done with us. Situation is fight one. What's going to do? Why go run?
Now let me tell you, this challenge was no walk in the park. We're talking about taking my best open world XP farm builds, the ones I use in heroic difficulty with 5 directives, and pushing them to their limits in the Legendary Summit with 10 directives. It's a battle not just against the formidable white tusk enemies and directives, but also against those pesky tasks that each room throws your way. Legendary rogues, swarms of drones, EMP stations, timed rooms, vicious warhounds, relentless bosses, you name it, we faced it. The Legendary Summit is a whole new level of challenge compared to the Legendary Strongholds. But here's the kicker. You don't have to start back at the lobby when you bite the dust. I used a different build every 20 floors, and let me tell you, some made it a breeze, while the Summit challenges tested my sanity. But there was one build that rose above the rest, the cream of the crop, the ultimate XP farm challenge build that will blow your mind on any difficulty level. Stick with me and I'll break it down for you. But before we dive into the builds, let me give you a taste of what we're up against in the Summit. First, travel to the lobby and you will have everything you need to prep for battle. You set your difficulty and directives at the elevator and up you go to face challenges. Grab loot and keep an eye for those precious yellow Summit keys. Trust me, they open locked caches you don't want to miss. Now here's the fun part. The Summit hosts all the directives in the game. That's right, all 10 of them. We're talking about an XP boost that will make your head spin in circles. In the open world, each directive gives you 25% more XP, but in the Summit, directives scale differently. With all 10 directives, you're looking at a whopping 188% additional XP. That's a lot, my friends, but let me shed some light on this subject. The Summit isn't the ideal XP farm due to the challenges that slow you down, but fear not, because it offers its own unique set of rewards, including additional challenges for Summit caches and targeted loot to fuel your desires. Throughout this video, I'll showcase gameplay of each build in action, focusing on boss floors and providing a full breakdown of each build. By the end, you'll be armed with all the knowledge you need to embark on your own XP farm challenge. So, tell me, will you dare to attempt the 100 floor climb? Let's do this. All right, Bandidos, here's the build that I use on the first 20 floors and is more than meets the eye to it. So notice my specialization is sharpshooter, and I'm using that for the TAC 50, as well as the additional headshot damage and stability. So the core of this build is the hot shot. I'm running 4 pieces of it. So we have marksman rifle damage, weapon handling, headshot damage, and the talent headache. I'll go into that in just a second. On this mask, I have armor, weapon handling, and protection from elites. You can also run headshot damage if you want to. So the reason why I'm running hot shots isn't so much for additional power or the automatic reloads, which is nice, but we're chain killing very easily with this build, okay? So very easy. But what it is giving us is armor on kill and bonus armor, up to 50% bonus armor of our current armor value. Notice we have 1.7 million in armor, so that's 850,000 in potential bonus armor. That's amazing, especially when we combine it with the 850,000 in bonus armor the backpack is giving us. That means this build can run at 3.4 million in bonus armor from a single backpack trophy and hot shots buff. So that's crazy, and obviously we're gonna get higher than that when we're stacking our trophies. So the gloves are giving us armor and headshot damage. The knees are giving us weapon damage and headshot damage. The holster is armor and weapon handling. You can also put headshot damage there. The chest piece is important. You want chain killer here for its 5% weapon damage and also the perfect talent. We have armor, weapon handling, headshot damage, and more protection from elites. And then I have perfect headhunter. That's giving us 1,250% damage from our last headshot kill blow. That's huge, and that's what's allowing us to chain kill. My primary weapon is the SRS. I have all my mods set to stability. You can run a scope if you want to, but I'm going no scope on this. Damage to targets out of cover and determined. So that's basically allowing us to chain kill off of the body. I have the Nemesis as my secondary. This is good against bosses or when you don't have TAC 50 ammo. And then I have the D50 pistol also with determined. And then so the mechanics, how they're going to work is basically you want to get your first headshot kill with your TAC 50 using Nemesis if you don't have TAC 50 ammo yet. Once you get your first headshot kill, you're going to switch to your primary weapon, get another another headshot kill. And then from that point forward, you are chain killing easily, whether you shoot the enemy in the stomach or the head. It's going to chain kill with this build. And that's what's making the 4-piece hot shot very achievable to get. And so that armor on kill and bonus armor combined with the memento backpack is going to be great. So looking at the memento, we got all 3 cores, of course, protection from elites, and we're playing into the short-term and long-term buffs. I'm mostly running this for that bonus armor and regen. So looking at the blue core there, we got 10% bonus armor per blue core. We got 5 blue cores. So that's 50% bonus armor, 850,000 in bonus armor per 1 trophy. We're stacking that. Again, combine that with hot shot, you're at 3.4 million in total armor. That's crazy. Okay, and then we're gonna get 3% armor regen. We're getting 30% weapon damage on the long term, and then 5% per trophy on the short term for 10 seconds. So that's 10% more weapon damage there. And then we're gonna have 30% skill efficiency, which is gonna help our drone. And so you don't want your build to be reliant on skills. I do have a decoy here, very helpful when we have it. And we are gonna be picking up those scavenge things. There's also cool skills. So lots of challenges on your skills here. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then we have our fixer. It's got a long duration. That's why you wanna run this, because you pop it up once and then you don't have to worry about it breaking super easily. But this build doesn't rely on skills, and it doesn't rely on a lot of ammo. And so that's why you don't want to come in here with an assault rifle build when you're running all the directives, because you don't have the ammo. You're gonna have pistolero and hoarders, and so that's very hard on the weapon. And so sharpshooter is gonna be regenerating ammo for us when we're in cover, and then we don't need very much ammo to clear a room. One shot kill capability. And that's the key to the build. Looking at the headshot stats, we got 205% headshot damage, 250 on the Nemesis, 179 on the pistol, and 279 on the TAC-50. So your primary weapons for this build will be the TAC-50 and the SRS. Only use the Nemesis if you have to. Hey Bandidos, the community we have built together wouldn't have been possible without you. So as a thank you for supporting my channel and the community, I'm bringing you the hookup on member perks, including even more Division 2 content and the celebrated gaming music playlists. If you're not part of Texas Players Club, click the join button below. Bandidos, here's the second build I used for the next 20 floors. And this is also a headshot build, similar in principle to the first build that you saw, but this one doesn't have all the same perks. It has a different set. So I am still using sharpshooter for the same reasons, and that is to use the TAC-50 to spike up our chest piece talent. But now this is a rifle build. The 1886 is really good for directives because it has a one-shot kill capability, which doesn't require a lot of ammo, yet the game gives you a lot more ammo than it does for marksman rifles. So that's the big win. And you can actually play faster because your crosshairs close faster than the sniper. So looking at the 1886, I got reload speed here. This is a very good weapon. And I have rifle damage, crit hit damage, damage to targets out of cover, and then the same determined talent. So basically this is what's allowing us to chain kill even off of body shots. The same mechanics. So the other weapon is the Nemesis again. Doesn't have to be, but I like the Nemesis, and then the D50. So what you're going to want to do is use your TAC-50, get your first headshot kill to fully proc your chest talent, switch to your 1886, get another headshot kill, and from that point forward, you're chain killing, whether it's the body or the head. Now on this one, you really do want to start off with your TAC-50, and that's why we're running this gear set so that we don't run out of signature weapon ammunition. So this is called Tip of Spear, and it's actually a really good build. Notice I'm running 1.7 million in total armor. We have signature weapon damage, and then aggressive recon, which is going to give us an additional increased total weapon damage by 20% when we deal damage with our signature weapon. And then we're going to automatically generate signature weapon ammo every 60 seconds. That's why I'm really running this. It's not actually for the power, although the power is helpful from time to time. It's really so that we don't run out of signature weapon ammo. That way I can use my TAC-50 more. And so the 1886 is strong enough to carry the build with Headhunter as long as we don't run out of TAC-50 ammo. So this is on a 60-second timer, that aggressive recon additional weapon damage, so keep that in mind, but you're still going to chain kill even when it expires, so you don't have to sweat it. But if you want to, make sure you use your TAC-50 every 60 seconds, then go ahead and do so. But I don't like to break using Determined. So once I have Determined active, I don't have to worry about aggressive recon. You shouldn't have to either. So if we look at our gloves, we have armor and headshot damage. The knees are exactly the same, armor, headshot damage. The holster, exactly the same, armor, headshot damage. The chest on this one has armor. This is the Walker and Harris chain killer chest. We have weapon damage, weapon handling, headshot damage, and more protection from elites. And then perfect headhunter, again, for that 1,250% damage damage from our last headshot killing blow. I'm using the same skills, the fixer, because it has a long duration, and the decoy, of course. And again, we're running the memento for the same reasons, mostly for that 30% weapon damage that the enemy cannot take away from us, like vigilance, as well as the bonus armor. This one's really mostly about the bonus armor and regen. So the regen is our main source of heals on this one, and it's plenty thanks to the bonus armor, which is 50% in bonus armor. That's 850,000 in bonus armor from a single trophy, and we're stacking that. So 3% armor regen is really good. And then we got the skill efficiency, 30% skill efficiency to drive more heals from our fixer. So that's all the heals you need. No armor on kill required. So headshot damage, we have 145%. If you have trouble chain killing for any reason, push that over 150%. But I think I was doing pretty good with this setup. And then 241% with the Nemesis, and then 170% with the pistol, and then 270 with the TAC 50. And the reason why we didn't need that additional 5% is because aggressive recon was giving us that increased total weapon damage after we got the TAC 50 shot. So we're getting the TAC 50 shot and then switching over to our rifle. Something to note is that aggressive recon isn't turned on until after that first shot with your signature weapon. So that first shot with your signature weapon, depending on who you're aiming at, may not be a headshot kill. So if you can find a red or a purple, it probably will be. But if your first shot with no trophies or any buffs or anything like that is at an elite, you might not get that headshot kill. So you might want to aim at somebody else. Otherwise, it's not a big deal. Just put out 2 shots. You should have the ammo to do it. So the first shot turns on aggressive recon, and then from that point forward, you have that additional 20% weapon damage, and then you can shoot at whoever you want to and get that 1-shot kill. All right, here's the third build that I used on the next 20 floors. So this one's very similar to the Tip of Spear build with some minor differences and a little bit different on the mechanics. I'll explain that. But notice I'm still using Sharpshooter. I'm still using the 1886 with Determined. We still have the Nemesis and the D50. And of course, still running the Memento backpack for all the same reasons, especially the armor regen and the bonus armor. And that's because it's important that we have some sort of passive healing, since we're not going to be able to rely on our skills because of all the directives. So again, 30% weapon damage. We have 5 blue cores, so that's 50% bonus armor or 850,000 in bonus armor per trophy, which we can stack. And then we got the 3% armor regen, the 30% skill efficiency. And then now we're running 4 pieces Hunter's Fury. Don't worry about the shotgun damage, but we are looking at that 20% armor on kill plus Apex Predator, which is 20% amp damage when fighting within 15 meters. And then you can stack 5% more amplified damage that stacks by 5 times. Also, you have a little bit of crowd control effect. So on kill, any enemy nearby will be disorientated. That helps you survive. And then we have armor, headshot damage, and protection from elites. And I have armor, headshot damage on the knees, as well as more armor and headshot damage on the holster. Do note that the backpack is hosting another protection from elites mod. And then the chest piece again is chain killer, this time with weapon damage, weapon handling, headshot damage, and protection from elites. And of course, we have headhunter for that 1,250% additional damage based on our last headshot killing blow. Same skills, nothing different there for the same reasons. And then I'm running 145% headshot damage on the rifle, 241 on the Nemi, 170 on the pistol, and then 270 on the TAC 50. So what's different about the mechanics is that you want to make sure that all your kills are inside the Apex Predator to ensure consistency. So even the TAC 50 or the Nemesis, those kills need to be inside 15 meters, which is not that hard. And then you're going to switch to your rifle, get another kill inside 15 meters, and that needs to be a headshot kill. And from that point forward, you can land them on the body or whatever you need to do. So the fourth build is, I would say, the cream of the crop. So as we started to get into the upper floors, things became a lot more difficult. You started to encounter more bosses and more unusual fire teams. And the rooms just felt like they were closing in on you, as well as the summit started throwing in more elites into the game. And this build was the answer. So I'm still running the sharpshooter specialization. I now have the 1886 as a backup with Determined and still running the D50. But now my primary weapon is the Mantis Exotic Sniper. It's got damage to targets out of cover and a talent called In Plain Sight, which basically gives you amplified damage when enemies aren't targeting you. But headshot kills reset the decoy, and that there is the game changer. Basically unlimited decoys, regardless of the directives. The talent on the Mantis overwrites the directives, and the decoy is like doubling up. It's like bringing in a team member. It takes the aggro off of you, and that made the upper floors a lot lot easier. And it's like this in heroic with 5 directives as well. The decoy is invaluable, I gotta tell you. And then I'm still running the fixer, of course, because of its long duration. I still have the memento backpack with protection from elites for all the same reasons. The 30% weapon damage they can't take away, the bonus armor and the 3% armor regen, as well as the skill efficiency. But now I'm running 1.5 million armor, so I brought the armor down just because of the introduction of more elites, including chungas and warhounds. So more power made things a little bit more smooth. And instead of 4 pieces hotshot, I'm running 3 pieces of hotshot. So I have marksman rifle damage, weapon handling, and then headshot damage. I have armor, headshot damage, and protection from elites, weapon damage and headshot damage. And my third piece has armor and weapon handling. You can also put headshot damage there. The knees are now Habsburg, and I wanted 15% headshot damage. We have armor, weapon handling, and headshot damage. I'll explain why I use this, as well as the Providence chest piece now instead of Walker. So this gives me 50% headshot damage. I got weapon damage, handling, and more headshot damage, and of course Headhunter for its 1,250% boost. The reason why I wanted Providence and Habsburg is they both give me headshot damage for a total of 30% headshot damage. The third piece of hotshot gives me another 30%. So between those 3 pieces, that's 60% headshot damage, not counting the attributes. And that all goes to the TAC 50. So what I'm doing there is powering up my TAC 50 in the form of headshot damage. And that's because we're using the TAC 50 to proc Headhunter and then transferring that damage to the Mantis. So in turn, it gives me a stronger headshot punch to my Mantis indirectly through the TAC 50. And so if you look here, we got 300% headshot damage on the Mantis, and then 205 here, 230 there, and now we have 330%. That's whopping headshot damage right there on our TAC 50. So this really was the savior and the cream of the crop. And the Mantis in general has always maintained a place on my XP farm strategy. It really is a great weapon. The fact that it doesn't matter what directives you have, it doesn't require much ammo, and you have unlimited decoys, just makes clearing content a lot easier and, more importantly, faster. And the reason why is because the AI or the NPCs changed their behavior when a decoy is out. So if you don't have a decoy, whether you're using a sniper or a rifle, they're doing like cartwheels and they're walking weird and sideways and in jagged motions, and they stay in cover a lot and blind fire, or they don't come out at all. But when you toss out a decoy, they start walking in straight lines, they stop doing the acrobats, they get out of cover longer, and that allows you to pick them off. And that makes the decoy one of the best and most powerful skills in the game, especially in general for damage builds. Here's the build that I used to defeat the floor 100 legendary hunters with all the directives. So still running sharpshooter just to get that out of the way, and it didn't really matter what skills you have because they're basically gonna disable them, and you have all the directives. So once they disable it, it's unusable because you have no more of those scavenge skills to pick up. So you got one-time use on each of these, and when it came to the drone, they busted it almost immediately. So the decoy, I had 1 use on it, so I had to use it strategically. We're still running 3-piece hotshot, as you can see, and I have weapon damage, headshot damage, protection from elites, the gloves, weapon damage and headshot damage, and the holster, weapon damage and headshot damage. For the knees, I have my first piece of Habsburg, which is armor, weapon handling, and headshot damage, and in the chest is basically the same. This is giving us marksman rifle damage, and I have armor, headshot damage, a little bit of regen, protection from elites, and headhunter for that 1,250% of our last killing blow. You don't really need headhunter against them, but I didn't really have anything else. Focus would also be a really good alternative, even trauma against those hunters, to blind them and then finish them off with some really strong headshots. But there is no real chain killing in there unless you can kill that second hunter inside 30 seconds, but they like to run and hide. I'm running the Araldi backpack with marksman rifle damage to power up my primary. I got weapon damage, handling, headshot damage, more protection from elites, and now running vigilance, which is increasing total weapon damage by 25%. And so there's no mementos to collect in there, and there's also the chance that your memento backpack trophies can expire inside there because that fight takes a little bit longer than other floors. That's why I decided to switch to that, just to go directly for the power. Now for the primary weapon, I decided to switch over to the White Death. I'm running the digital scope for 45% headshot damage. I still got stability here and reload speed, damage to targets out of cover. We're hitting at 1.2 million with this bad boy, and I'm running Ranger for amplified damage based on the distance you are from the enemy. And so the reason why I'm running this is because I couldn't run an exotic as my primary, and this this was the next best thing. This is a very good and very strong sniper. Why can't I run an exotic? Because the strategy, a really good one for fighting those hunters, is to run the St. Elmo's engine as your secondary weapon. So St. Elmo's has really good crit mods and weapon handling, and it's got a very large mag, 70. And so that's what we're really playing into. That plus the talent. What the talent says basically is at 100 stacks, you're gonna get a full magazine of shock ammo. Now, because the hunters disable your skills, you basically don't have any. I'm using the St. Elmo like a skill, a shock delivering skill that has 70 rounds on demand whenever I want to use it. So basically what I did is on the floor going into the hunters, I just got all my stacks and earned my shock ammo, which was not hard to do at all. And then I went into the floor 100 with the hunters, having that weapon on the ready. And as you can see, I took down that hunter and I didn't even have any armor kits, but the shock ammo was enough to put him at bay. And then the second hunter realized my strategy and did not want to come out of cover because of it. Smart guy. And so we just finished him off while he was hiding in cover. But this is a really, really good play and really good way to beat the hunters since they disable your skills. Use St. Elmo's going in there, shock them, and they just can't do anything. It even stopped them from healing, which was really nice. So I hope this build really helps you the next time you encounter hunters, whether it's in the summit or the open world. Hey Banditos, check out this unlimited blind crowd control build for legendary.
Follow me.